Hi guys, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Design and a Half. In this episode we're going to do things a little bit different. As I said earlier at the start of this week, we're gonna take a look at Producthunt, and we're gonna look at 5 of the most popular items right there. I think it's in the design category, and just look at them and talk a little bit about them and give you my point of view on those products in terms of functionality, how they think they're going to fare, and so on, and probably also about the utility of them in day-to-day life if it applies. Okay then, so let's take a look and see what we got first. The first one seems to be Ring, always home cam. Let's see what this is about. So, okay. So in this case, this seems to be a autonomous flying indoor security thing. Interesting. I think it could be useful. I don't know. I guess. I mean, looking at the video with the guy trying to get into the home, I guess it could be useful in the sense that if you install such a system in your home and you want to make sure someone doesn't break in, I guess it could be useful. But on the other hand, if someone is going to come into your home and steal some of your stuff, they're going to break in and be taking stuff regardless if they're going to see a robot thing coming their way or not. So if I'm determined to steal your stuff, I'll just bang on that thing and just get away with it. So it's not going to help me at all find the person who stole my stuff just by looking at the drone footage, if I'm able to capture the drone footage in itself too. Because if I was a burglar, the very first thing I would do is just smack that thing down and just continue burglaring. I mean, stealing everything. So I don't really see a good point in installing that drone thing, nor do I think it actually adds a lot of security to your thing. It's probably more interesting in the sense of being able to capture outdoor stuff like nature perhaps, but then again, this is for indoor, so I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that useful, or at least I don't think it's going to fare that well in terms of actual security and being useful for security reasons. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Okay, let's see what's next. We got the state of prototyping report. This looks intriguing. Let's see what this is about. Okay, the state of prototyping 2020, 30-page PDF. Report by Design Week and Framer offers unprecedented look at global industry trends based on data from a survey of senior designers and in-depth interviews from VPs and companies like Salesforce. Okay, could be useful, I guess, but I'm actually trying to understand the reason why I would be interested in such a state of the prototyping kind of a report. Like, what should I be learning from this? What exactly should I be, what's the knowledge here that I should be gaining here? Just looking at other people's prototypes helps me in what way? Do what exactly? We prototype everything. Okay, so some people just don't need to be prototyping that much, or don't have the bandwidth to prototype that much, or have limited bandwidth in terms of how or what they prototype. So how is this useful for everyone? Empowering non-coding designers. How? I just see a lot of text telling me, okay, a prototype is worth 1,000 meetings. John Maeda, AVP Engine Experience Officer, Publicis Sapient. Okay, more persuasive than PowerPoint. Okay, probably, yeah. A risk-reducing, cost-saving tool. Depends, but probably. Prototypes are critical as we can test without full engineering on actual launchable code. It enables us to get quicker feedback at less cost. Yeah, but again, it depends on what type of prototype we're talking about. If we're talking about a fully functional prototype that can actually be used by people when they're actually testing it out. A high fidelity prototype can either go super high fidelity, which means it actually has to mock a lot of the scenarios that we're talking about, which means a lot of designer work, which also means a lot of money spent. It's not like designers work for free. Let's make that perfectly clear first. And secondly, some people don't necessarily need that high fidelity prototype. Like, why do you need to have a high fidelity prototype always? It's not a rule. It's okay to have prototypes whenever it fits your need, but it's not necessarily a rule of thumb that everybody should be using prototypes to test out their stuff. It's okay if you need it, and if you need them to work for you in this particular scenario. For us, for example, as a company, for the company I work with, it's just as fine to work with lower fidelity mockups, in the sense that we're just using InVision to create some prototypes. It's not something very advanced. And the problem I've seen in a lot of user testing with high fidelity prototypes is that people usually don't go the scripted scenario way. They just go off the beaten path, and that means you'll have to spend a lot of energy as a UX designer to try to rein them in so that they don't stray too much off the path. And that means that your interview might be at risk. So it really depends. You can't really go out and say, okay, we democratize prototypes and you need to make high fidelity prototypes. It doesn't work like that, guys. It just does not work like that. Sorry. Okay, bring the most ambitious ideas to life. Yeah, this is basically a market pitch. Okay, from that perspective, I understand it makes sense, but I don't necessarily agree that everyone needs to do this, but it's a good selling point, I guess. I'm probably going to download it either way because I'm really interested in what they're going to say in it. So definitely bookmarking this. ReadyMage. Get your PWA store in 5 minutes. Okay, let's see what this thing is about. Putting it up. Get your PWA store in 5 minutes. Scalable AWS infrastructure, fully customizable project, code base with zero downtime deployments and on-demand test environments. Okay. Start selling with feature-rich Magenta 2 and Scandi PWA e-commerce solutions. Interesting. One-click AWS infrastructure with Scandi. Okay. So this seems to be some sort of automation tool that helps you deploy shops in the cloud, I guess, on AWS platforms. Pretty cool. Run your store on a managed platform hosted in AWS. Okay, build PCI DDoS compliant infrastructure, no fixed plans. ELK stack, Kibana for log management. Kibana is actually really cool. And Grafana and Prometheus for performance monitoring. Yeah. On-demand DevOps support. We use Kubernetes to bring you one-click automation and cost efficiency. Cool. Yeah, this is definitely something nice. I mean, my technical side that also did a little bit of DevOps says that this thing is really cool. I mean, having the ability to get more DevOps tools that automate stuff whenever you're talking about doing deployments, and especially doing setups like these where you have to deploy and create a sort of a store from scratch. Like, this sort of stuff is really cool because it automates part of your process and makes it far faster to deploy, and it doesn't take up as much time, which is cool. I guess let's look at the pricing. Oh, nice. AWS infrastructure setup, $9.99. Wow, that's really cheap. Okay, so they have nice prices too. Dedicated, not shared resource configuration, up to 4 CPUs, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 2 gigabytes of bandwidth, 30 gigabytes of storage. You can increase it from your user portal. Okay. Additional resources in excess of minimum packages panel provided by autoscaler based on the load, metered. Okay, so they also charge, in addition to these, some additional taxes towards I guess transactions or whatever. It's unclear, but at a first look it seems to be pretty affordable, I guess. I really don't know. I'm not really super specific and super knowledgeable in this subject, so I could be off. I don't know. But definitely a cool idea. So the idea to optimize and automate a lot of DevOps deployments, like that's wow, that's really cool. Love that. Okay, let's look at Main Street. Founders, you're owed 50,000K. Get it back in 20 minutes. Okay, this is odd. This is odd. Let's see. You're owed over 50,000K. We'll get it back. 50,000. We'll get it back for you. Set aside billions in tax credits. It takes 20 minutes to qualify, and we all do the paperwork for you. We've saved startups millions. Okay. I don't really get what this is about. So from a design perspective, they might not have done the best of communicating exactly what they do and where they provide value for you. So in terms of that, I don't know. I'm not really convinced. I think in their particular situation, a video would have done way better for them than a static hero image or hero piece for the website did. So having a video where you explain a lot of what you provide value for people with is really good, because it makes a more convincing point rather than having just static text that you have to go read through. And the problem with text is that people can get easily confused, or B, they can get confused by what exactly it was that you meant. Not necessarily by your language, but by what exactly you mean you're trying to sell here. What's your pitch? What's your angle? Instead of having a video where you're trying to be clear and concise and communicate across exactly what you want people to hear. So if you can't explain it in simple words, you don't really understand it well enough, and other people might not understand it well enough either. That's my theory. So from my point of view, I guess this could be probably easier understood by someone that lives in the US and understands what the heck these guys are talking about. For me, I have no idea. I guess they give you some sort of cash back as a startup. I have no clue. Like, for real, I have no clue. iOS skins. This is the next one and the final one. Let's see what this is about. Okay. An up-to-date collection of the best iOS 14 themes made by Daniel Siddiqui. Interesting. Oh yeah, they look good. Simple, beautiful set of icons. Okay. Big Sur icons. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, but how do I use these? They look amazing. I'm not saying they are not looking amazing, but how the heck do I install them? The only prompt I see on this website is buy them, and that's it. So there's no way of understanding how these things work. How do I put them on my iPhone? Do I need to have a jailbroken to be able to install them? Anyone's guess. I have no idea. Okay. Whatever. The idea is nice, but to be honest, I don't really understand how to install them. So unless they also put some information there, from my point of view, it doesn't make a good enough argument for me to get out and buy them. Because I don't know what I'm getting here. Am I getting some PNG icons? Am I getting some SVG icons? Am I getting icons that I can put in a theme that I have to install from somewhere else into my iPhone? If I do that, do I need to also have a jailbroken? Because I know there have been some issues with theming in the past, in the sense that if you wanted to theme your iPhone, you had to have it jailbroken. So I guess this is still a thing. I don't know. I don't think you can just apply stuff on your iPhone without having to jailbreak it. I really doubt that, but whatever. But the icons are in themselves are nice, and I think the initiative is definitely cool to give you some special way of making your iPhone look different. I think that's cool. However, asking for a bunch of icons and I don't know, for some wallpapers, $28 is a bit cheap, a bit steep from my point of view. I would not necessarily buy them, to be honest. I think they're a bit too steep for my taste, and to be honest, since they don't provide instructions from before actually buying them, I don't know if I'm going to actually buy them, because I might end up not being able to use them. So I don't know. You might need to explain to people how this works first, just as a rule of thumb, before actually making people commit to something. They might want to have a second thought. I don't know. The website itself looks nice though, and the icons are definitely cool. Price is a bit too steep in some cases, but I think it depends on the icons themselves. Okay guys, this was about it. Those were 5 of the top of Producthunt's today list, the popular ones according to the ranking, I guess, or the newest. No, not the most popular. I think it's the newest ones according to the ranking. I think I'm going to do this thing again, because it's really interesting to see and comment about stuff without having actually seen it first, I guess. I don't know. It's going to be interesting in the future to do this thing again. So I hope you liked this. If you did, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing, possibly even commenting. And please tell me what you thought about this this sort of new approach of having on the spot comments about stuff which is on Producthunt. If you also want for me to make some reviews of specific applications, features, or services, please let me know in the comments, or send me a message, and I will be happy to oblige, or at least see if I can fit it into the podcast schedule, and definitely talk about it in one of the upcoming episodes. That being said, I do wish you have a wonderful weekend. I might be releasing another episode tomorrow evening, hopefully. That being said, take care and see you soon, guys.